Hey, I'm meteorologist Doug Myers with the latest forecast on this Thursday. Yesterday we had highs mostly in the upper 60s. It was the final day of April, so taking a look at our stats for temperatures, we had a pretty good mixture of above average temperatures and below average temperatures and a seasonal day this past Sunday. Precipitation-wise, we certainly had a lot more rain for the second half of the month, where we only had 2 days for the first 16 days of the month with rainfall, so we certainly added on to that. Unfortunately, there were a lot of the days that we didn't get a whole lot, so it did keep us below average for the month of April. As far as rain is concerned, 0.91 inches below average. But as far as high temperatures are concerned, we were cooler than last April, but only 1 degree above average for the month, and that includes factoring in the lows as well, where we had the coldest temperature being 26 earlier in the month. For the first half of the month, the average high temperature was 65.2, and we were almost 5 degrees warmer than that, or a little over 5 degrees warmer than that for the second half of the month, even with all those rain chances. So certainly got a little bit warmer. Everyone except Manhattan, at least at our major airports, were below average for the month of April. So hopefully we can aid in that, getting that back above average for May and getting a little bit more seasonal for the season of spring as we enter in our final meteorological spring month for the month of May. Average high today, 71, 49 the low, and you can see how it changes throughout the month, both high temperature and low temperature and the sunrise sunset times. Meanwhile, we average a little over 5 inches of rain. At least in extreme northeast Kansas, we have normal conditions for the 30-day outlook, but you'll notice that most of the state has the probability of wetter than normal conditions for the month, so good news there, and probability of above normal temperatures. So what can we expect for the first week of the month? Well, for today at least, a lot of low 70s for high temperatures, and I think we'll have a mix of sun and clouds. The rain that we had for much of the overnight periods should come to an end around sunrise or shortly after, leaving today mostly dry. Now, one thing we are going to be monitoring very closely for the forecast on possible changes is tomorrow's rain chance. You'll notice that rain starts to develop around 4 or 5 o'clock and continues through the morning hours in a scattered nature, not isolated. So that is coming up a little bit with the rain chance. Now, because this wasn't necessarily being indicated in the computer models so far this week, I'm not quite ready to go scattered tomorrow. I'm still going isolated. But if models coming in throughout the day today still has the same kind of pattern in place, you'll notice that we do dry out around midday, but then another round comes in for the afternoon. We may have to increase that probability of rain for tomorrow. But regardless of rain or not, it is going to be a little bit cooler, and we are noticing that most spots will probably not get a whole lot through Friday morning at 8. You got a brief rain opportunity there in Manhattan, a little over a half inch, but then as we go throughout the day, we'll have many spots getting at least 1/10 of an inch of rain for areas along and north of I-70, and for many spots close to 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch. And maybe adding on a little bit of that during the evening hours. Some of the other computer models are still indicating some decent rainfall, at least compared to what models are indicating earlier this week. So just something that we'll keep an eye on. Do not be surprised if I have to increase that probability of rain for tomorrow and give way to scattered rain showers. I'm still going on a low probability of thunderstorms, so I'm still thinking that it may just end up being rain and you just getting wet. But there is still that low probability of a non-severe thunderstorm with lightning being the hazard tomorrow. We're dry this weekend. It's going to turn out to be a really nice weekend. 70s for highs, lows in the 40s, including low 40s for Saturday morning. So starting the weekend a bit on the cool side. And the next week staying in the 70s, about seasonal. But keeping an eye on opportunities for rain starting to move back into the area around midweek. Now, there is still some uncertainty on this weather pattern because it is going to be an upper level low that will be out in the desert southwest towards the end of the weekend and the start of the week. How that progresses eastward and how quickly it progresses eastward will depend on probability and timing of rain for next week. So do not be surprised if the forecast changes next week. What won't change probably is the low risk for severe weather. I don't expect severe weather next week. But as always, we'll keep an eye on it. In the meantime, we're still in the green for both the 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day outlook, although a little bit higher chance of weather than normal conditions in that 6 to 10 day outlook, and of course in the red on all three of those weather patterns. As I mentioned, the risk for severe weather is low the way it looks right now, but you always want to be prepared. We are bringing back the promotion of Weather Call. Now, this is a little bit more expensive than what we were talking about several years ago when we were really hammering on Weather Call, or Storm Call is what we called it earlier. It is technically called Weather Call. We just called it Storm Call. But because it's a little bit more expensive, it's because it's going to be on your cell phone instead of on your landline. Yeah, that's how long ago we really promoted this when I first started here about 13 years ago. It's been a long time since we really hard promoted this, but we're getting back into it because it's a really good service. It is a third-party company, so any questions you have, sign-ups, changes to your account, anything at all, needs to go through their company. We have no say over your account or payment, yearly payment. So be mindful of that. But it is a great service. What makes it a little bit different from your other services on your phone, like the apps, it's a guaranteed phone call. It's not something that if an app goes bad or if for some reason something goes wrong with your notifications on an app, you're going to get this call, and you're going to get it if you're in the Polygon. You're not going to get the call if the Polygon's a mile outside of your area. So this is a great opportunity to sign up for it. Maybe change to this service if you already have Storm Call on your landline. If you still have a landline and you want to change it to your cell phone, this is the great opportunity to do so, to upgrade. You can obviously take a picture with your phone on this QR code and get to the website, or just go to WIBW.com to the Weather Call or Storm Call link on the weather page. But that's a great service to get back into if you don't already have it. So, obviously, there's a lot to be looking at for the next 8 days. In the short term, tomorrow's rain chance. But no doubt about it, it will be dry this weekend to make sure that you get it and take advantage of it. Mow the lawn if you need to. Monday, that's a good opportunity to do it too. But Saturday through Monday, those may end up being the only 3 days that have almost a 0% chance of rain. Otherwise, very low chances of rain on the other days, but increasing again as we get towards next week. Have a great day.